All right. Well, I think we're live. I think we're going. Put my chat back up. There we go. All right. And there's CNC. How you doing? There's Neil. Everybody's on time for the only, one of the only, maybe the only vape show that starts on time. How refreshing. How refreshing. It's kind of like getting to work on time. You know, kind of the same thing. you know, what's it? What can I say? you know, these younger folks have no, uh, I don't know what you'd call it, training or something along that line. I mean, I can kind of understand their deal. It's like, there's Adrian. How you doing, buddy? They give you the lame ass excuse about, oh, I'm waiting for people to come in chat. Well, you know, as a person that watches other shows and goes in chat, I'm there when the show's supposed to start. You know, so that's a lame excuse in my book. And we're not going to do it here. Show's going to start on time, not 15 minutes late, not 20 minutes late, not 5 minutes late, not stupid ass start screens with some kind of bullshit elevator music playing. No, we're going to start show on time. It's not hard. It's not hard. I had a few jobs like that, Neil, where I would get there early. Most of them, the ones that like supplied coffee, you get there and drink some free coffee, and get woke up, get ready to go. Yeah. But they don't do that no more these days. And man, you let it get close to quitting time, and shit, they're out the door so fast you can, it's like, that it's like they were a ghost. It's like, where'd they go? It's poof, they're gone. Have you got it going yet, Neil? And that's supposed to be, what was that? A K-Fun like 5 or something? Refresh my memory. I remember you telling me, and I remember me asking you where you got it. And I did a little bit of digging as to where you said you got it. Now, did you get that off of Wish, or was it some other place? Because I know we were in somebody else's room at the time. The Square SE. Okay. And you don't like putting a bunch of shit in chat in other people's rooms, but you can put shit in chat in my room. I don't give a damn. You two don't like it, they can go suck a dick, Hurt me. Now, I don't know about the SE part of the deal, but I'm assuming since it's a 5, it's got the bigger deck, build deck in it. That's what I'm assuming. And it's a 25 millimeter tank. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what I did. I looked up the deal you gave me, and it gave me, his like deal, but he was selling through Wish. But nowadays that's, you if you want to really go down the clone road, there's very few places left for us to do that. And that's one of them. I've never ordered from them. I'm glad to see you had luck with it, just so in case I want to do it in the future, I might place an order or two with them. They got some older clones that I want to get. See, and I had, believe it or not, I think I had this on last week's show, where I had drug out this old V3 Mini and reworked it and got it going again. And it's just, it vapes so damn good. I said, well, damn it, let me see what else I got up here on this shelf. So I went to digging around, and I found a K-Fun Prime. Of course, it's clone. And I'm looking at it like, and at that time, I had to go back and watch my own damn videos, because at one time I knew this. I did know this. But the other day when I was digging around, for some reason I had it in my mind that the K-Fun Prime came out before the K-Fun 5. And I don't know where I got that, but that was just what was in my mind. Well, anyhow, I dug all my K-Funs out, not the real old ones, but and I did have a 5, just a normal 5. The glass was broke on it, so I had to dig and dig and dig till I found I didn't have another glass, but I did have a stainless steel tube for it. And I throwed a hellacious, not, a good size real Clapton coil in it. And it did okay, but it still wasn't doing it for me completely. So I kept digging, and like I say, I found this Prime. Of course, it's got the small build deck, the little bitty build deck that's like the K-Fun Mini. And I took it, I looked at it, I took the deck out of it, looked at it, and I'm looking at, I took the coil out. It had a little round wire coil. I took it out, and it was one of those clones that came with a coil already installed, a little round wire coil already installed. That's what this was. Still had that in there, and I'm going, well, hell. And the damn thing wasn't hardly discolored at all. And I'm going, well, shit, I must only took like 3 vapes off this damn thing. And I hunted. I didn't even do a video on the damn thing. I don't know whether it slipped through the cracks. I have no idea. Anyhow, I cleaned it up. I custom fit all the O-rings, which is a normal deal for clones, especially back in the day when this one got bought, which was probably 5 years ago or more. And yeah, I got plenty of room in that 5 for, I think I put a 3mm coil in it and still had room left. Let's see. I believe it is. But you could have put I could have put oh, I think the tool I want. I could have put a more complex coil in, except you're limited. What is this? Is that going to go? No, it's a 2.5. I lied. It's not a 3. It's 2.5. But I got plenty of room left. I could have got a 3 in there. Easily. And anyhow, I fixed up I hand fitted all the O-rings, got it to where it would, everything turned the way I wanted it to turn. And put a MTL, Nichrome MTL Clapton coil in it. There's Andrew. How you doing, buddy? You're all right? I understand how that goes. I really do. And oh my God, it's like Well, why was this damn thing sitting on the shelf? I mean, this is, oh man, this, you know, damn good vape. You know, I got the airflow wide open. I didn't take the pin out, but I do got the airflow wide open. But you know, you can cut these down to, you can shut the airflow totally off on these. Which one you talking about? The one I'm vaping on? This Prime? It does have the extension on it. I discovered that also when I went to digging and researching because it'd been so damn long. Let me see here. Not counting the drip tip. The whole thing is 2.15 inches. And the tank itself is going to be about, oh, looks like maybe about 1.6 inches. But this has got the extension with the larger tank, little extension you put on. Yeah, it had all that shit and it's sitting up there on the damn shelf, gathering dust, you know. But yeah, I put a little MTL Clapton in it. Oh my God, it's fantastic. I'm going, well, what the hell? Hello, Anthony. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming by. It's great. And I never did a video on it. I don't know. Oh, you must be talking about that 5 you got. Yeah, my 5 is, I don't know how big it is. It's not a whole lot bigger, though. Where's the damn top to it? Huh. Oh, there it is. I don't know. It's pretty tall. I don't know if it's any taller than these or not. Of course, this is not the squared. This is the, you change this back to millimeters. This is the, well, it's 20, it's the 22. Yeah, it's just the regular 5. And not counting the drip tip, it's 61 millimeters, which is 2.4 inches, not counting the drip tip. So yeah, it's pretty tall. But you know, the more, like you say, direct lung or restricted direct lung, that's what they're geared for, and that's what they're made for. That's what they're designed for. But I couldn't get over the fact that I had this damn Prime sitting up there on the shelf, and how good it vapes. It's just great. Yeah, I could go for that, Andrew. I could believe that. It looks about the same. On the regular 5, not the squared. I don't think squared would work, but I don't know because I don't have a squared. I just assume it would be bigger around. Now, let me show you something else I found while I was digging around. And I did a video on this. At least I did a video on this one. But check this one out now. You get the camera. Where's the camera? Okay. Then you notice it's got all the little holes. Okay. Anybody have a clue what this is? And you see how big it is. Good. Up there. Here's the Prime. Here's it. And I think I'm one of the very, very, very few people that, wait a minute, I picked up the wrong damn thing. My bad. That's the K-Fun X. Everybody know, yeah. I picked up the wrong one. Here we go. This is the right one. Okay. This is the right one I wanted to show. And here it is against the prime. You can see it's a little bit bigger round. Yeah, this is the one I intended to pick up. I noticed that when I vaped it. I'm going, that ain't the right flavor for that. That ain't what I put in that. But at least I did do a video on this one. But I'm one of the very few people, I think, that actually own one. No, I never did buy that damn thing. Ooh, that was over-engineered. And when they're that bad over-engineered, I steer clear of the clones. Yeah, it's top fill. Yeah, all of them here are top fill. I steer clear of the clones when they are drastically over-engineered like that K-Fun 4 was, because from my experience, the more over-engineered it is, the better the odds are the clone ain't going to work worth a shit. No, this little thing here is the K-Fun V3 Mini Plus. It's got the same build deck. It's got the small K-Fun build deck, just like the V3, the regular V3 Mini, and the Prime, the MTL Prime. It's got the same little small build deck, but it's got a huge body and tank on it. And I think they were only sold as clones. I really don't think they ever. I don't think Semesto ever sold them. If they did, they didn't do it very long or something. But anyhow, they may have. You know, I don't keep up that much with the main companies. But anyhow, that is the V3 Mini Plus, and it was setting up there. Hey, let's drag this down. You know, and fit all the O-rings good, put a real good little mouth along, same coil as in this other one, you know, in it, and oh my God, it's like, well, why the hell did I have these sitting up there? Is that one 24? Let me look. I don't know if it's 24, but it's definitely pretty big around. Come on, get up there. 23. It's a 23. But comparing it to there's a Mini V3, the regular one, and then this one over here is the Plus. You can see how much bigger it is. Yeah, like I say, I'm not too sure that the only way you could get one of these was to buy it in a clone version. I'm not sure they ever made it, but they might have, or they may have had a kit or something. Hey, Mick, how you doing, brother? Glad you could get up in time this morning. God knows I didn't get up at the time it is in your country, but, you know, I did get up fairly early this morning. I got up about 7. Damn good babe. I can't believe it. Had all that shit sitting up on the shelf. Of course, you know, I was looking, this was between 5 and 6 years ago when I got these. And looking back, in them days, I wasn't, I don't know, maybe say as patient or whatever. For some reason, I thought I should be able to just take the clone out of the box and vape it, you know. And I guess over the years I've learned from that experience that no, you take them out of the box and you look them over real good and you fix whatever needs fixing and custom fit O-rings so everything works properly, you know. And so I did that to these two, and man, they're just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And they're both top fill. They both got the, you know, of course the Prime. Y'all all know about the Prime, but this other one here It's top filled just like the original little Mini was, and everything's the same except the tank part. It's just bigger. Everything else is just like a normal little V3 Mini. The only thing, the plus I wish it had the little ears on the post screws like the Prime does. It don't. It's just a regular old style K-Fun deck. I wished it had those little ears on it. Be a little easier to put a coil in. That's its only real downfall. Of course, back in the day, none of them had those damn little ears. All you had was the screw. That's how I knew on this Prime that it had come with a little coil in it, a little round wire coil, because the wire had been perfectly horseshoed and cut. I mean, just no way in hell I was going to go to that much trouble. But it had the perfect little horseshoe and cut at the exact right length just to really grab the screw good. That's how I could tell it. It either came with it either was pre-installed or it came in the package. But yeah, we took that out and threw it away. Neil, the only thing I ever, I mean, yeah, you had to do a little work. Sometimes the O-rings weren't just exact like they needed. Of course, I've seen that happen on even some originals. People struggling and reviewers struggling with some O-rings and always coming up with the excuse, oh, we need to put a little VG on. We need to lube these up a little bit, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, you need to lube them up, and maybe they'll help a little bit. But if you had the right O-ring to start with, you'd be a hell of a lot better off. I've done that before, Andrew. Usually, nowadays it's actually a little better. Back in the day, they were just round wires, and I mean they were as good as a round wire coil is going to be, and they would even give you some spaced ones, I think, every now and then, for people that didn't know how to, deal with a closed coil, but they were just round wire. So I mean, they were fine, but they were round wire. Most of the time they were nichrome, if I remember correctly. There was some that was Kanthal, but I think most of the time they were nichrome. But yeah, I'm running this little puppy, 20 watts. It's a 0.74 ohm coil. Just absolutely fantastic vape, and I can't, for the life of me, believe I had such a good piece of equipment sitting up there on the shelf collecting dust. Just amazing. Oh yeah, the little blue screwdriver. My goodness. That that's the company that made all the money off of the vape industry. Was whatever company made those little blue screwdrivers. But if you, Adrian, it's a good MTL vape. To be totally honest with you, unless you can find a used one dirt cheap, the X is just as good, if not a little better because of the way uh, the way the juice control works, and both of them are top filled. The X is easier because it's slide, but the juice control is a little easier to work on the X. So, if you don't already have one, and if you don't have either the X or the Prime, I would still recommend the X over the Prime, just for because of those two items. The vape is pretty much identical. Uh, the decks are identical. Now, I tell you what, the Prime did have, and I don't think this, pretty sure this X didn't. One thing the Prime, the MTL Prime had was on the positive post, I believe. Yeah, positive post. Uh, Positive block, we'll say. It had a slot instead of a hole in it for the air to come out of. So most of them had holes, and I think even even the X has a hole. That the original Primes, they had a little slot. So to me, it's a little slot is like, to me, better than a hole. It just distributes the air better over your coil if you could put a pretty long coil in there. But it did have that. Yeah, well, it probably is, Adrian. I mean, the Buildex, like I say, besides the difference in the slot and the hole, the Buildex on a light is exactly like the Buildex on this X. As far as size and comparison goes, and as far as combustion chamber and all that, they've been the same since way back when. You know, it's on the MTL versions. Now they do have like this K5. The 5 is, it's bigger, but the rest of them are, the hell, it's the same size Buildex, same size combustion chamber, and all that they've had forever. It's good. I mean, it's a good design. It works. Oh, there's all sorts of things to that light. I think Steam Tuners built some stuff. I think there was several aftermarket people built a lot of stuff for that. I never did do those. I never uh, I never did get into the lights. I skipped that version. I went from the Prime straight to the X. I skipped the lights. Didn't go down that rabbit hole. Well, that's because, like I was saying earlier, Mick, with this Prime or these other B3s, if you don't have the correct O-rings, there's two of them on the deck. If you don't have the correct size O-rings on those, they're a they're a hell to get off. And a lot of people say, "Oh, just lube them up." Well, it helps the hair, but the right size O-ring does miracles. You had two Primes, but leaked too much. Well, mine. Oh, that's this one. What? Oh, yeah, they probably leaked around the screw. And did it come out the airflow hole, or did it come out the very bottom of the device of the tank? Yeah, they're hard to get a grip on. A lot of people, they should, design that a little better. I can see it leaking out the air hole. You must have had some bad O-rings in the bottom to leak on this one, to leak totally out the bottom. Because these V3s, they had an inherent problem eventually leaking out the bottom, but you just installed an extra O-ring, extra one, and that cured it leaking out the very bottom. But if you miss the wicking, it would still leak out the air holes. Yeah, Andrew, I've still got a bunch of the old original K-Funs. I don't know how original you call them. Ones that had a little screw in the bottom. Take out the little screw and fill it up. But even them vaped tremendously well because say the same build deck. They vape tremendously well. Well, damn, Mick, you just having hell, brother. Hell, I've got some old version 3s. Let me get one. I guess they were. Y'all tell me. Fine. Alrighty. This don't have a drip tip on it. Now, which version is that? Got the screw in the bottom to fill it up. What version is that? Is that the 3.1 or whatnot? This one had the 2-piece combustion chamber. Remember that? It's a little top on the chimney. Is that what this one is? A light plus? But see, I jacked with this one because I got these for like $6 a piece way back in the day. Of course, they're clones, and I jacked with them because this was one of those that this one didn't have it. Didn't have the little set screw so you could adjust the air. It just had the hole. So I took and drilled a hole in the bottom into the air hole and threaded it, and then put just a screw in it so I could adjust my airflow. Because hell, it was $6. If I tore it up, hell, it was $6. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. Hell, there was one on. I think that was one of the deal. You buy 2, you get 1 free type things. Oh no, it would still leak out the air hole if you missed the wicking, Man, that thing's ancient. That's getting back to the Russians and shit. I was an okay fun, Adrian. Totally. Let's see if I can get it apart even further. Yeah, there we go. Now the deal come on. Yeah, it's an okay font. And this part screws off. There's your build deck. Oop. Come on, focus, focus. Focus. Yeah, yes, sir. I can go back in history now, I guarantee you. And this little thing vaped good. Uh, you know, it's so old. Uh, this was before thick juice. Now, I guarantee you this wouldn't vape thick juice. It wouldn't do it. You know, 50/50 was maybe 60/40, but you know, it was designed for 50/50. Oh, I've been going on 10 years now, Mick, for me. But yeah, this was before thick juice. Yeah, but that's Andrew's right. This is like the old very first ones that, and everybody was up in arms saying that Semesto stole the design from the Russian, and then the Russian, not Russians, but the Russians stole the design from the K-Fun, and there was a big debate over that. You know, over which came first, the chicken or the egg type deal. But either one of them baked really well, but back in the day. I don't know. Last time I looked, Mick, I think I got room on my board for 60 something, 60 something of them, and I don't have enough room. So, wild guess 75 tanks. You're right, Andrew. You're right. And oh, speaking of that, you know, I've been saying I was going to order that Elbridge 2 when come a little closer to delivery date from 3F. Well, I looked this morning, and they done pushed the delivery date from June 15th all the way to June 30th. So, they do that a lot. That's why I don't get in no hurry to pre-order, you know. And when it looks like they finally get some in, or getting close to getting some in, I may order one. Well, I don't know. Do I expect it to vape any better than these K-Funs I got sitting here? No. I don't see how it could, really. I really don't. But hey, the design interests me because it's got a unique airflow design, kind of. It's a totally side airflow. And the tanks I've had like that do pretty good. So, and it was top airflow plus, you know, top intake airflow, and then side against the coil, hits the coil from the side. Yeah, Neil, I did that to what did I do it to? I did that to the set screw on this uh, V3 Mini Plus because it was the old timey metal set screw, and I knew that the shit was going to seep. And since I had the whole thing apart, I just took the little set screw and put 2 or 3 wraps of Teflon tape on it, put it back in. Because I wasn't going, once I got it where I wanted it, I wasn't going to move it again. Well, that's good, Mick. I'm glad you've got the SXK models because that should be reputable, a good one. The quality on that one should be good, and I'm curious to uh, get the results from you if it is good. It should be. I ordered the cheapest one just because I wanted to see if the cheap one would function, and it did. So you know, if it had been total junk, the one I got, if it would have been total junk, I would have turned around and ordered the XXK version, you know. But since it turned out good, I never did, never did do it. Well, hello, Aaron. Thanks for coming in, brother. So far, we're doing pretty good here. I don't have you on my list. Where's the pen? Here's the pen. Without getting too personal, Aaron, where are you from? I like to write down where everybody's from. Just the state, the country. That's just, if that's close enough. I don't need your street address. I don't want your street address. I just like to write down the country everybody's from. Yeah, I don't mind, Mick. You want to throw something in there, throw it in there. As long as it's, you know, on the up and up. Yep, Adrian, I saw Josh's video. I'm glad to see him back in the saddle. Oh, you got to have a wrench to post the link? I didn't know that. Netherlands. Well, wow. Like, you're the first person from there. That's neat. Let me write that down. I'm always amazed at where people are from. I can't believe y'all understand what the hell I'm saying. I really don't. I have a hard time believing that. Oh, my accent is so thick. Now, Neil, you talking about the light or the X? Oh, the 2019 light, put it that way. I hate it when companies come out with the, you know, because way back when, the old plain Jane ones, they had a light version. And then they come out with that new one they called light. And they had to stipulate, I think 2019, I believe, was what they throwed behind it. It's like, can't y'all be a little more imaginative, you know, with your, you know, I never understood the whole term of light. I really didn't. Because there's several companies that have done that. Oh, this is the light version. Okay, where's the heavy version? You know. But yeah, they'd already, you know, used that name, come up with a different name. You know, car companies do the same damn thing. Chrysler's one of the worst. Ford does it too. Uh, you know, they'll drag up some old ass name out of the graveyard on a, you know, a car they quit making 40 years ago, and oh, here's this, you know, act like the shit's new. Well, it ain't for us old timers. We remember the original version of that damn thing you're trying to sell us. You know, light because of less parts. Is that it, Adrian? All right. Well, I could believe that because those 2019s didn't have, there wasn't that many parts. I would have still come up with a different name though if it was my company. If I already had a light model, I don't care how many years ago it was, I'd have come up with a different name. Shit, I'd have just called it the K Fun 2019. You know, do it like cars. Give it a year model. Because I was searching the other day when I was trying to find exactly what the hell this, because I was still confused at the time. I thought all the primes had the big decks like the 5, even though I knew this shit at one time, but I had forgotten. And I was trying to figure out just what the hell this was. Because it says prime on the bottom because it's a 1-to-1 clone. It's even got the little, I call it a number 1 symbol engraved on the deal, you know, and says prime on the bottom, all that bullshit. And but at that time I was under the assumption that all of the primes had the big build deck in them. Too many years ago. And then I couldn't find a video on it. And it's like, well, how the hell did I not do a video on this? Looking back at some of my older videos, I don't think of course, 90% of them I was overweight. And I don't think I had the energy that I got nowadays. Because I'm watching them, you know, and I'm talking real slow like this. And I'm going, what the hell are you doing? Oh. Now, that's a mod, isn't it, Anthony? If I remember right, I don't know if I watched the video, but I think I saw the thumbnail for it. Isn't that a dual? Is it dual 18650 or 21700? If I remember right. Because I don't know that I watched the whole video. But I'm thinking pretty sure that's a mod. Oh, I'll give you one little tidbit of information that I discovered the other day. For now, you experienced DIYers probably don't need to know this, probably already know it, but I had me some banana pudding one shot, but you know, most people do this with a banana if they're doing some kind of banana flavoring, unless they're just going for straight banana or strawberry and bananas, which I've never had a good strawberry banana vape. I love strawberries and bananas, you know, the dish, but anyhow. A lot of people, when they do a banana flavored juice, they'll want to caramelize it. And caramel is just extremely finicky. Just a tad too much just overpowers whatever else you've got in there, you know. And anyhow, I discovered instead of putting caramel flavoring in, put butterscotch flavoring in. It's not near as strong, but it gives you a real close taste to what you're looking for. So if you're having trouble trying to do a caramel, and it didn't matter what you're mixing it with, okay, and the caramel is overpowering everything else, try a little butterscotch instead. Well, Andrew, what's his name? What's his name on NET? Said it was on NetPaper. Said it was real good. He said it was a whole lot better than the version 1, and claimed it was better than a couple of other tanks he had. That's MTL. Well, I don't know. I think they got, it may go up to at least restricted direct long. I don't recall from memory, but you got quite a few air pins. Neil, I've tried just straight butterscotch. I'm not a huge butterscotch fan. As far as just butterscotch, got to have something with it. But it worked really good because I've got it in this tank here, and it's the banana pudding one shot, which is just bananas, kind of a pudding type deal. But the butterscotch really helped it. Now, I did notice that Net Vapor came out with a add-on video about the Albridge 2, about people were having trouble with the wicking, and I guess anything's possible. I didn't really see how you could go wrong with the wicking on it. Even though, I mean, I don't have one in my hand, but you know, from experience and watching the video, looking at the deck. But he came out with a video about the proper way to wick it, like people had been having trouble wicking it. I don't know. Of course, Josh did too. He just came out with one, the proper way to wick. I don't know. I don't remember now what the tank was he was wicking. I've never had a plum flavoring or a plum flavored juice, as far as that goes. I don't particularly care for what I call domestic plums. Fat Rabbit, yeah. Yeah, Josh just, you know, there's lots of people come out with videos on how to wick stuff. I think I did a couple, maybe, way back in the day. I hadn't done one in forever. As far as just a video on wicking, I don't think I have. Y'all remind me if I did, because I've forgotten. That's what happens when you get old. I've got one of them models of extremizers. Couldn't tell you what version it is. I really couldn't. But I do have one I remember that was called that. And it was good, it was fine. It's sitting on the shelf collecting dust. Yeah, there's lots of there's flavorings out there. You know, most of the people all want to blame the short lifespan of your coal or your cotton or whatever on sweetener. Okay, they want to instantly throw the sweetener under the bus. And I can tell you from experience and experimentation that there are a lot of fruit flavors and other flavors that kill the cotton or the coal just as fast or even faster than sweetener does. I've got the peach flavoring I use. Kills the cotton. Quick, like one tank, it's done. You know, one tank full and it's done. And with no sweetener, nothing in it, just the peach flavoring and nicotine PGVG. And one tank, and the cotton's dead. It's black. It's done. But everybody always kind of wants to blame the sweetener, but there's lots of flavorings out there that'll kill a coal. But back to the plum, probably the reason I never had a plum flavored juice is the domestic plums that we have, they get about the size of a big chicken egg, or say No, they get bigger than a golf ball, about the size of a chicken egg. I don't like those. Now we have some wild cherries that grow here, uh, and most people don't domesticate them because they're so small. But they're little bitty things, like a marble or something, and uh, they're extremely tart and have a whole different taste than the domestic plum that people grow and sell. Now the little wild ones I like. I don't care for the fruit itself, so I've never tried a plum vape. Now, Mick, I'm assuming that the black one is a tobacco. I'm assuming that. And I even tried some. What did I try the other day? I didn't buy it. They sent it to me for free because Flavor Jungle they'll send you like little free samples usually when you order something. And they sent me some, what was it, guava and something, a couple of those tropical fruits, mixed together. It was all right. I never mixed any more of it. So that's, you know, that kind of tells you my impression of it. I mean, yeah, it was all right. Probably tasted like it's supposed to taste, but I got better juice. I mean, I got better recipes than that I like better than that. So I never mixed another bottle of it. Right now in this one, I got my peach watermelon. I'm not going to call it watermelon peach. I'm going to call it peach watermelon. And I like it a little better than Phil's. And his is all right. His is good. It's a very good balance. But I like mine a little better. Mine's a little more peach forward. I like it a little better. It's good, refreshing fruit vape. Got to switch them up every now and then. There's a few of them you can keep, but you got to switch them up every now and then. Otherwise, you'll get vapor's tongue. Neil, I tried a long time ago. Now they may have better flavorings out now, and they probably do. But I tried some chocolate a long time ago and just never could get them right. I also tried peanut butter a long time ago. Never could get it right either. In fact, one of the last little free sample thing I got was a chocolate mint, and I have to admit the chocolate in it tastes better than what I was trying to make, but just kind of not my cup of tea. But it did taste like what it said, chocolate mint, like those little chocolate mint candies, which I never liked them either. It helps if you like the real thing it's trying to mimic. I never could understand why people loved eating those things. You know how it used to do when how you used to do when you got a box of assorted chocolates, and you you had no idea what the hell what was what. You know, you take a little nibble and oh well, this is chocolate mint. We'll put it back. Put it back in the box. Try another one. I never, I don't think I've ever even seen that one, Mick. Or if I have, it has skipped my mind. I don't remember a nitrous. You know, there's lots of good tanks out there. You know, there's a whole bunch of them. You know, we get so caught up on chasing that dragon. Uh, there's lots of real good tanks out there, and nowadays it's just down to the point of ease of operation. A lot of times is the only difference uh, between them. You know. Hell, Mick, my local vape store now, there was a new one opened here the other day, so that gives us three in my town. Of course, two of them are just same store, same owners and everything. One's just on one side of town, one's on the other. But I did see a sign, but I didn't stop in there because I pretty much knew what I was going to get because, you know, you get disposables, whatever the cheapest pod system is at the moment, you know, and some sub-ohm tanks. That's it. That's all they have in the stores around here. And, you know, I think the vape shop or the two shops are the same owner. I think 90% of his problem is his distributor. I think that's 90% of his problem. His distributor's just pushing shit off on him and not letting him decide what he wants to stock. That's my thought by looking at his inventory. I've told the story before. You know, I went in there one day and just look around and see if he had anything decent, new, you know, whatever. The manager or even so-called owner was working in there that day. You know, he asked me, did I vape? And I said, yeah. He says, what do you vape? And I just so happened that day to have my billet box with me. You know, I set it up on the counter. He looks at it. He goes, what is that? I said, it's a billet box. Well, really? He'd never seen one. How can you own a goddamn vape store and not know what a billet box is? How's that happen? They don't sell straight nicotine, Mick. All the vape stores that I know of, they sell juice. And they have a variety of nicotine levels. The big bottles will have either 0, 3, or 6, and then the salt nic will have I think 20, 30, and 50 nic level, but it's all pre-mixed. Everything's pre-mixed. We don't over here in the U.S. we don't have to do the short fills or anything. We can still sell it in the bottle, all ready to go. We don't have any of the long fields, short fields of shit. If you start doing that shit over here, you'd knock out 90% of the vapors because they wouldn't be able to do the calculation. You'd have to make it real goddamn simple. One way or the other. Oh, I see. No, they can still sell just normal. Now, and see, that's the killer part because, according to the FDA, everything in the whole damn store is illegal to sell because it doesn't have that damn, what's it called? PTM? The damn okay from the FDA, whatever the hell the abbreviation for that shit was. So basically, theoretically, everything in the goddamn store is illegal, but they're still open. TTMA, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't even try to remember that alphabet shit. Yeah, in my my little story. Well, the last time I was in there, if it wasn't the bare bone cheapest smock sub-on kit, he didn't have a clue what the hell it was. As far as the big stuff, is all he had was smock shit, and that's why I think maybe his distributor. It's either his distributor is pawning the cheap shit off on him, or that's all he thinks he can sell. Which I can kind of understand that to a degree. Yeah, it's all a mess. It's all a mess, and due to the I don't know what you call it. I guess you might kind of say diversity of the vaping community. We can't never all get together to support, to provide a what do they call it? Some kind of front. Not combined, it's something else. United, a united front, So it's way past, I think it's way past that point anyhow. I think you'd actually have to shed some blood to get their attention. Yeah, Adrian, I think that's the way it is here, you know. And every time I've been in there, just browsing and looking and whatnot, the the customers that come in, they grab a couple of disposables and they're out the door. And it's like, you done spent more on these two damn disposables than this damn pod system here and a bottle of juice. And next week all you have to come back in, maybe get a bottle of juice. But hell, these damn people are, I've seen people out here that just Hell, they go through a disposable like they do, cigarettes. And, they'll every day it's one or two disposables. And it's like you people just failed math miserably. I don't know if mine would do that or not. I approached him one time about that, and he didn't seem too happy with the situation, Neil. I asked him if he could ask his distributor if he could get this particular device, and he didn't even seem like he wanted to do that, And I said, well, I mean, I was trying to, support my local vape shop, but I'm sorry, I'm not buying this shit you got on the counter. But I would buy from you if you could get some decent shit in, and he didn't even seem to want to do that. I said, okay, I tried. I can get it online. Hey, Mongo, how you doing, brother? Yeah, Adrian, I tell you, when back in the day, as far as feeling bad for the smokers, I don't know, back in the day, this was, years and years ago when everybody, all the vape shops basically switched to sub-ohm tanks. And I don't know how many people that I knew uh, and I talked to, they would see me vape it and they say, I tried that. It didn't work for me. I couldn't do it. And I said, well, let me see your device. Well, sure enough, they come dragging out this big old sub-ohm tank. And, it is extremely hard for a smoker to quit going straight from cigarettes to a damn sub-ohm tank. It's extremely hard to do. Plus, fucking, 3 milligram and 6 milligram Nick, and they've been smoking 2 packs of Marlboro Reds for 10 years, and I would try to educate them, and say, hey, look, you got the wrong device. But most of them had already gotten such a bad taste in their mouth from it, they didn't want to try anything different or give it another try. So I said, okay. I felt bad for them then, for the people that were trying to quit at that particular time in history. Because none of them took the time to research it, like probably we did way back when. They just went down to the shop and, bought whatever the counter guy recommended. I don't know, but that's what they were selling them, Andrew, when everybody switched uh, to sub-ohms. You couldn't find a mouth to lung device in the entire damn store. It was all sub-ohms. That's all they had. And they only had juice to go with the sub-ohms. Now, some of them, and I've seen it even today, even in this time frame, where a lot of people will be trying to quit, and they'll say, "Look, I'm trying vaping," and they'll have a pod system, but it's one of those damn sub-ohm pod systems. It's a direct lung or restricted direct lung pod system. The new ones they got now. And try to educate them. But that's what the shop sold them. Well, you hadn't got the stubby end yet, though, do you, Neil? You just got it ordered. Isn't it? Is it? It's metal, right? Of some sort. Oh, you got it back in April. All aluminum. That's good. That's good. I'm just not a fan of 3D printed. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan. Give me metal any day. I don't care if it's some kind of alloy, as long as it's metal. Maybe I'm just too old. I ain't got nothing against plastic. There's a nice little plastic mod right there. But it's plastic. It's not 3D printed, and it was $20. And I don't know how many years I've had it. It still works great. Yeah, aluminum. I'm not saying aluminium. I'm saying aluminum. And if you'll recall, Scotty said aluminum. He didn't say aluminium. When they were building that transparent aluminum for the well tanks, Scotty, which was supposedly, he had a Scottish accent, and from his name, he supposedly was from that part of the world. He said aluminum. He didn't say aluminium in the movie. Of course, I'm sure American people wrote the script, so. Well, I tell you what, anybody got any questions? Anybody that's in chat and hadn't participated, but has a vape question, or anything, needs any help with their vape stuff, feel free to ask it. Don't just all the folks here in chat are decent folks. We will help you. We will not talk down to you or nothing like that. We'll do our best to help you. This is not Reddit. No fanboys here either. We're the normal vape crowd. Oh, I keep picking that one up. This is the one I want. This is the flavor I want. Hell no. Well, let me tell you what we got in Arizona. Desert. I went to one many years ago when they were still real vape shows in Vegas, and they may start having them again up there. But I went to one that was enough for me, and that was back in the heyday, and never went to another one. And but it was in Vegas. But that's just an hour and a half drive up the road. So the cinnamon bun empire is going well. We didn't sell out this week. Of course, I made more, and but we had a couple left over, which I don't mind having a few left over, because that tells me that everybody that wanted one got one. And of course, the ones we have left over, my wife takes them to work, and the people up there fight over them. But hmm. Well, Adrian, are you using which graham cracker crust are you using? Are you using the dark one to start with, or are you using the clear one? Or do you DIY it? No, Neil, they don't. Phoenix don't have no vape shows. Because I have used, been a while. Well, I think TFA made two. Uh, Now, see, they got two, or they did. The last time I dealt with TFA's graham cracker crust stuff, they had one that was real dark, and they had one that was ultra clear, looked like water. And naturally, the ultra clear one would stay lighter after it was mixed than the dark one. The dark one, I mean, it was dark to begin with. I mean, dark. Um, you know, so I always just preferred using the lighter one. But I don't know of a way to bring it back. But and plus, see, that's one of the things you need to consider, as I consider it, because some juices, after a week, they've steeped, and then they like stabilize, and they'll be okay. They'll be the same for a month or two, um, and there's some of them that just keep on, and after 2 months, hell, I've got some that after 2 or 3 months, they're so damn dark. I really don't even want to vape them, and but so what I do to avoid that situation is I watch the amount I mix. In other words, I know how much I'll vape, in 30 days or in a week or two, and that's how much I mix. I don't, you're real tempted to mix a bunch at one time, and I understand that, because I used to do that shit, and then I'd have a bunch of it that would like oversteep or change to where I didn't care for the flavor of it. Uh, before I could vape it all, because I had mixed way too damn much. But yeah, I think I still got some. I don't know if I got any clear left or not. It's been forever. Oh. Well, see, even this clear, I don't know if there's, it may just be old. Oh. the other one? I may have threw away the dark one. That's it. No, here it is. Now, see, this was the clear, graham cracker clear by TFA. And you see how dark that little bit that's left in there? That's not going to taste near as good as when it was new and it was crystal clear. Because when I bought that, it was crystal clear. But now here's the other one I'm talking about. And then all it says is TFA graham cracker. And this is the way it came. I mean, seriously, that's the way it came. That's what it looked like when it was new. So you can imagine how damn dark the juice, quickly dark the juice gets when you mix it with that. But it's been forever since I've used either one of those flavorings. I really need to go through a bunch of those flavorings and just throw them the hell away. Like that little bottle of clear. I should throw that away. He seemed like a nice guy. My wife, she's over there working on her ceramics the other night. One of his lives was on. I flipped onto it. She took one look at him. Who the hell is that? He seems like, I think he would be a real nice guy in person. You know, of course he's a nice guy on the deal. I mean, he cusses a lot, but that's just the way that he talks. You know, people got to understand that. You know, I don't have a problem with it, but oh yeah, if I mix anything with that dark stuff, it gets that way. But now I had what was it? I had a mix I used to mix it was a strawberry dragon fruit, but it had some Bavarian cream, and I forget what else it had in it. But it would darken up in a couple of months to the point I didn't want to vape it. Yeah, that would be my only real enjoyment out of going to a vape expo. You know, would be to meet some people that you only get to chat with online. I think that would be neat. I don't even know if they're still playing Mick. I really don't. I never was a big Metallica fan. I mean, there's some songs I really like of theirs, but you know, all these all those people are getting old, man. Oh yeah, you know, ain't nothing to get in, brother. Hell, you just. In fact, if the plane flight is cheaper, just fly into Mexico and then walk across. You know, that's all you got to do. Hell, they'll put you on a bus, figure out what town the expo's in. You know, you say, "Me need a bus to Soito," and hell, the border patrol put you on a bus, free bus ride up to whatever the hell town you need to go to for the expo. Shit, you know. That's all you got to do. You don't need a passport. You don't need shit. As long as you cross that Mexican border, come on over here from there. Shit. That's what I say. You don't need to be legal. Just fly into Mexico and walk across. They'll fix you right up. Give you all sorts of free shit. And hell, Most of them people ain't, really get real thick with your Australian accent because the hell they can't tell the difference between the Australian accent and the Mexican accent. Yeah, that one I did go to in Vegas. It was it had one of the big casinos or event centers or what. No, I think it was at a casino. Of course, the big casinos got huge event rooms, and I think they had 3 different rooms, and they were all just fogged out. I mean, you got a headache within an hour or two, and you was sick the next day. And I said, nope, not for me. But that was back in the day when they were doing the whole throw juice out into the crowd shit, and that kind of stuff. Girls in bikinis, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, everybody had tasting samples set up so you could taste their juice and all that bullshit. Give it a vape. I wouldn't put my lips on that shit, but some people did. Yeah, Andrew remembers. Yeah, that's back when all the bottles, 9% of them were glass with little dripper things in them. Yeah, just throw them out in the crowd. I don't think I didn't come away. I didn't come away with anything. I didn't buy anything. I didn't get no free juice. Didn't want none. Uh, so, and there's Josh. Hey, buddy. We were talking about your video just earlier. Everybody's glad to see you back. Yeah, there you go. Looks like you had a little better setup than you used to. Although I did notice, which a lot of us might, that you kind of had to go outside to vape. I totally understand that. Sorry that you got to do that, but that's the way it looked from the video. But as far as your surroundings when you were shooting the video looked better than they used to. Oh, set the alarm on what? You either turn the breaker off or you jerk the battery out of the damn thing. When I built my house, there is not a single smoke detector in it. I didn't wire it for smoke detectors. I didn't um, put any smoke detectors in it uh, with battery operated or none of that shit. Oh, I see. Well, you didn't have a choice on that. They'd probably have a fit if you disabled them. I don't never per se blow clouds. I wouldn't have the problem if I did have smoke detectors, unless they were just right above my recliner. My, I still don't think it would set them off. So 9 times out of 10, I just do a loose mouth of lungs. About the most I do. But yeah, I don't even have the damn things. I also didn't wire my house for a landline phone either. I wired it for Ethernet, uh, but I did not wire it for. I wired it for Ethernet and coaxial, but I did not wire it for a landline. You know, in my opinion, those days are gone. And but you was talking about those coils that you were using, Josh. I think I heard that name before. That fellow. There was some guy. I don't know if it was him or not. There was some guy that contacted me one time and wanted to know if he could send me some coils, and I said sure. I said, you know, send them to me, and I'll be happy to, do a review on them and do a video on them. And he never sent them. I gave him my mailing address, and I never saw him. I don't know if he quit making them or decided I didn't have enough subscribers or whatever. But yeah, I can't help you with that, Neil. These other guys might. Only RDA I ever had that had a squonk pin was a Velocity clone. It blows my mind. They, because almost regardless of the setup, it takes a long time to make those real complex coils. You know, if he counts his time at all, you know, I guess you call it a hobby. Maybe you can get away with it that way. I mean, I can make a simple Clapton or a fused Clapton right quick and right easy, but anytime if you go up above that in complexity, it gets to be quite time consuming because you got to basically run it, through several times. Just a Clapton or a fused Clapton, one time through whatever device you're using to make it on, even if it's just a drill, it's one pass and you're done. But most of those other complex ones, shit, they 3, 4, and then jack with it after that. It's like shit. But I mean, that's his thing. That's his hobby. I guess. I understand. I got to come up with me a combination, or for a simple MTL Clapton. Because the ones I've got, the Claptons I've made are a little bit too big for MTL, and I got to come up with a wire combination that works for ones that I can make. Yeah, even the staggered ones, fused ones. What is that? At least is that like at least 3 passes on those? I think. $30 with 38 wrap. Okay. I'm gonna write that down, Neil. Now, Josh, I've got something like that. They kind of work, but they're just a little too much. Now, Neil, are both those wires nichrome, or is that first one Kanthal? Is the 30 Kanthal, or is it nichrome too? I don't know that I've done it. I'll take that back, Josh. I don't know that I've done a 28 with a 38. Be both nichrome. Yeah, I know. If I didn't have the damn rust problem with the Kanthal, I could do that. All right, Mick. Have a good day, brother. You're probably off to work. That would be a very good combination, Mongo. The problem is when you're doing them, I have a hard time doing the handmade ones with that smaller wire. So I think I've done a 2636, but I don't know that I've ever done a 2838. That might be all right. Yeah, that sounds about right, Neil. Because that's what I think I got. No, 6 wraps on this one, and it's like 0.7. And I've worked with 40 gauge before. I can do it. It's hard to work with. It's just so damn small. But I have done it. It's not that bad. The trick I do, I found if I do a fused one, uh, the whatever you got on the other end, regardless of whether you're doing it on a drill or you got the little, I forget the name of the damn little machine or whatever. the I do it on a lathe, but the trick is letting the other end spin just extremely free. You may even have to put like 3 swivels, have some really good ball bearing swivels or whatever you need to do on the other end to let it really freely spin, and then it doesn't twist as bad. A lot of times you can just take and when you get done, I can just back the headstock up a little bit, and it'll just a few turns in the whole thing, whole strand of wires, and twist it. But if you got too much resistance on your free end, so it can't swivel, that's when you'll get the damn twist. And naturally, the smaller the wire in your core, easier it is to twist. So now I know I got some 26 with I think I got some 26 with 36, and they do pretty good. But I think that might be a little much for me for these K funds. But I got bigger coils than that in those uh, uh, intake MTLs I got sitting by the recliner, and even especially my Feb. I got some, fairly good size coils in them. Like, 26 and 30 or 26 and 32, something along that line. I understand that feeling, Mongo. I understand that feeling completely. Let's see, what is this one? This one's 0.7. And I think I got one less, no, that one's 0.752. But I was thinking one of these had one more wrap. I had 6 wraps instead of 5. All right, Adrian, thanks for coming by, brother. We'll see you in the next chat room. We ain't gonna be here much longer anyhow. We done rambled on for way too long. I don't want to get like Kenny and Craig for a 3-hour live. That's a little bit much, I think. In fact, I was looking the other day. I guess I'm gonna have to get me some. I wanted some cheap, you know me. Oh, I wanted to be able to get me some 27 gauge nichrome from Amazon, if nothing but save the shipping. And I couldn't find any. I guess I'll have to get it from Wire Optimum because I was wanting some 27 gauge nichrome and I couldn't find it on Amazon. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I didn't. I didn't find any. Because for me, 27, 28 is okay, but it's starting to get a little bit light when you're trying to do a Clapton for me. So the 27 works perfectly. Of course, 26 works really well, but then you start getting a lot of mass on your coil if you don't want that. You know, sometimes I don't want a lot of mass in it. And so I was trying to get some 27, give that a try. I guess I'll have to get it from Wire Optimum. They seem to have just about any size you want. As we got, what is it, later this afternoon, we got Legion. I don't even know the name of his channel anymore. He changed it the other day, I think. But feller from Down Under, he comes on a little later tonight. And Raw Chuck comes on, I think before Legion. He comes on. Hadn't seen anybody from them in here today. Usually several of them stop by. They might be out there lurking. So I tell you what, since we have rambled on for nearly 2 hours, I think we're going to pull the curtain on this one, call it a day. And thanks for everybody that came in chat. Yeah, I saw that, Neil. I don't know if I could stand watching the live, but I might could check it out on the replay. So I can use the fast forward. But I do remember seeing that, and I kind of wanted to just maybe watch it, but I do want to be able to use the fast forward. But anyhow, thanks to everybody that came in chat. Thanks for everybody that watched the live. Thanks to everybody that's going to watch the replay. And remember, you can always comment on the replays. I see them and answer them just like I do a normal video. And I don't see why we can't have another show next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So, to everybody, have a good rest of your day, a good afternoon, a good night, or a good morning, depending on where you're at. All right? So we'll see you later.